Hi guys, this is Ms. Kurganin. I'm recording a short video to show you how to take your UN climate landform adventure. So last week when we were in small groups, I asked you to check out this website called the UNESCO World Heritage List. It was also homework last night. I want you to choose a green and a yellow that's either in or near your UN country that you're going to visit. Green is a natural site made by the earth, like a mountain or a beach or a waterfall, and then yellow is made by people, like a castle or some type of structure that they've made, something cool. Red on this map is a site that's in danger because of climate change or encroachment, people taking it down. If you did not do this homework, then you're going to need to do it. Or you could do a quick web search on places to visit in my UN country and then type in the name. You need to go to one natural site and one cultural site. And then when you've got your sites, we're going to take a trip. So I'm going to show you Waverly's last year and go through the directions as I show you hers. All right. Okay. Sorry. This part's funky. Okay. Done. All right. So hopefully I go into present mode. Here it goes. Loading, loading, loading. And you're going to make this PowerPoint today. And so I'm going to start out, I'm going to give you $5,000. $5,000 for some of you is going to take you really far because the exchange rate is going to give you options of staying in a 5-star hotel. For others, especially if you're going to Europe, the airfare and travel expenses are going to take up a lot of the money. But don't worry about calculating the money yet because that's later in the project, and really that's extra credit. So as I said, you're going to go to one natural heritage site, one cultural made by people site. And when you are on this trip, you're going to be collecting some pictures off the internet, and you're going to make a slideshow of the natural historic beauty of this UN country. I would like you to write 2 sentences about each picture for your captions. Slide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is all you need to put together. I have some websites that are attached to the assignment on Schoology to help you get there. You can go back and read through this in a second, but let's look at slide 1. Slide 1 is you're going to have some pictures, at least 2 of the natural site you are visiting. Waverly chose to go to Mount Hoverla, and she is writing about what she sees while she's there. So you need 2 pictures, 2 sentences. You also need to go to a cultural site made by people. She's going to see Ukraine's wooden cirkvas. What's a cirkva? They're wooden churches from the 19th century. They were constructed by Orthodox and Greek Catholic faiths. So you have 2 sentences underneath or near the pictures to show what you visited. That's slide 2. Slide 3. This is tied into our lecture yesterday. You are going to do a climate analysis of that country. So you need 2 different climagraphs for 2 different cities. She has, I don't even know how to say this, Lozovaja, and then I can't because this is back behind here. I can't see what this one is. So she is analyzing these 2 climagraphs, and she's trying to figure out what is the best season to visit. She doesn't want to go when it's too hot. She doesn't want to go when it's too cold. She doesn't want to go when it's too rainy. So she chooses to go in the spring because there's going to be more sunny days. And she's analyzing that it's not too rainy, not too hot as it is in the summer. How do you know what season it is in your UN country? Again, that was the lecture yesterday, but I attached in your PowerPoint here. Let me go back. Sorry. When is it spring in the Northern Hemisphere? When is it autumn in the Southern Hemisphere? Remember that we're flip-flopped. So our winter's their summer. So you could look back at the season information. You also have those notes. So then slide 4. Slide 4 asks you to analyze for at least 2 characteristics how climate affects that culture, because culture is our next unit. So you could analyze the food, you could analyze the clothes, the homes, or the work. So I'm going to show you what Waverly did. So the average temperature in the Ukraine is pretty cool, 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So they get some rain. So, people are covered up because it's not the tropics. They need to wear clothes for warmth. And the food that grows there are grown in wetter climates like beets. So this temperate climate with rain allows for a lot of produce, and they're able to farm a lot. So they've got grain for bread. She also analyzed the homes. Well, if they're getting all that rain, then they need to have a good roof so that the rain doesn't collect on top, and that keeps them nice and dry. And they need to have warmer homes because it can get snowy in the Ukraine, and it's mountainous in places. The jobs in Ukraine are mostly factory work. It doesn't really have anything to do with climate, but she just wanted to show you a little bit about what is the culture to expect in the Ukraine. Your fifth slide, you need a packing list to go to Ukraine. So, or to go to your UN country. So what do you need? She needs a winter coat. She needs pants. She needs sneakers. She needs money. She did a little research about the culture and found out that when you go to visit someone, you need to bring a gift. So she's got to have little tiny gifts to bring to people in the Ukraine. So you need to have 10 items in your packing list that you would need for where you're traveling and in the season that you're traveling. So if you're traveling somewhere tropical, you're going to need some flip-flops. Unless you're traveling to Southwest Asia, and women are expected to cover their hair or to cover their body. So maybe you're going to be bringing some robes. I want to show you one more. This was Will's trip to Saudi Arabia. When was he going to travel? He chose to do August because he could see that it's not too hot. Saudi Arabia and Southwest Asia is going to be really, really hot. His travel packing list, he knew that men in Saudi Arabia, because they wear these robes, they show their wealth by some fancy sandals and fancy backpacks and even a fancy pen. So this is called thobe, and he is just blinging it out on the edges. He had some time to do the itinerary because this is extra credit. If you have some extra time with this project and you're feeling like you need some extra credit, you are going to mess around with how long would it take you to go to the UN country? What would the flight be like? He found that he was going to have to travel over a day, traveling from Denver to Dallas, Dallas to Paris, Paris to Jeddah. So that was going to take a long time. It's going to cost him about $1,000. He was going to go, the natural site he was going to go see was the Farallon Islands. So that is really pretty. I'm really missing beaches right now. The cultural site, of course, he's got to go check out the Great Mosque of Mecca, which this is a must and as a pilgrimage if you are a follower of Islam. He looked at how this hot desert climate affects that culture. They have rice, lamb, chicken, yogurt, potatoes, dates. Some of this doesn't need to be refrigerated once you cook it. So he noticed that that's warm climate food, like yogurt can actually kind of sit out of the refrigerator. The clothing to protect from dust and also to respect the Muslim traditions. He noticed that men wear thobe, women are wearing burqas. The houses are constructed. This is also to show how the climate affects their culture. This is adobe or brick homes that are going to be cooler on the inside in such heat. And they don't have to worry about a slanted roof for rain because they don't get a lot of rain. They do a lot of goat herding, oil exploration, not so much tied to the climate, but he wanted to show you that. And then he had some extra time to spend. So if you get the slides 1 through 5 done and you have time to mess around with your itinerary or tell me what else you're going to do with your $5,000, he went shopping and he bought some cool stuff. He went to this really cool, that That is a shopping mall with actually a pirate ship inside. And he kept track of his receipts. And this kid, Will, he graduated last year. He's kind of a silly kid. He even had some extra money. So he was showing me what he did with his extra money, and he bought a bunch of gumballs, which is silly. So if you have extra time, you can mess around with your flight and where you're going to stay. Here was Waverly's Ukraine. Denver to Kiev was going to cost her only $686. And then she found a place to stay. She messed around with what was the currency exchange, and $3 basically, or $3 Ukrainian basically make $1 American. And she has a picture here of something extra she did, spring skiing in the Bukovelf. But that is extra. You don't need to weigh yourself down with that, because the main part of the project today, 2 sentences, 2 pictures of a natural landform, 2 sentences, 2 pictures of a historic cultural landform, 2 postcards with 2 sentences of your UN country's food or clothing or homes or what they do for work that's influenced by climate, and then 2 climate graphs analyzing the temperature and rainfall of 2 cities to analyze the best season to travel, a packing list of 10 items you would need. Optional extra credit. Information on airfare, lodging, travel costs, itinerary. Here is where you're going to submit it today. You have the rest of class to do this. Please make sure that you do the exit ticket before you click off the call to work on this. I'm expecting this travel postcard slideshow by 4 o'clock today. Have fun with it. Okay, bye.